Hello everyone, thanks for watching my hiking trailers review. Uh, the, the first point I would like to emphasize is that when you watch advertising from the manufacturers, they tend to say what you can do with the trailer, what is possible with the trailer, but that's actually, it doesn't matter, because the question is if the trailer is more convenient than a backpack. That's the only thing you care about. Of course you can do lots of funky stuff with anything, but for you the only question is if trailer brings more convenience to your trips. There are three major topics. The first one is if a trailer makes sense at all, or under which circumstances, for which trips. The second dilemma you have, there are double wheel trailers and there is a single wheel trailer, and how to choose between them. And if you decide to go for a double wheel trailer, then there are multiple manufacturers, and again you have a dilemma which one to choose. So I would be addressing these questions. Here's my magic formula. The trailer is useful if at least 50% of the trip is easy and a maximum of 10% is so difficult that you need to carry the trailer as a backpack. So at least 50% of the trip very easy, and a very small portion so difficult that you have to carry the trailer. Look at my recent trip. The green circles, those are camps. This is where we spend the night. So you can see it's 3 nights outside, 4 days of hiking actually. Big part of the trip, in overall it wasn't high altitude mountains. So the highest point was 1500, but in general it was below 1200 meters above sea level. So it was forest, no rocks, a fairly easy trip. With the next two videos I would show you that walking with the trailer does have a number of differences against walking with just a backpack. There are many spots on the trip, like the fallen trees for example, which are very easy to pass by on a backpack. You actually don't know this could be a problem, but since you are pulling a wheeled device behind you, it is actually quite a challenge, and you would be surprised how many fallen trees are there, because normally you don't notice, and with the trailer you have to deal with every single one.
Nech ti prekliesni cestu.
Samo tie najhoršie miesta si nemusíš vyberať zase.
Ty by si z druhej strany mal mať čln. To rád.
Tak ale vieš, títo pionieri, tí proste k nám prinášajú pokrok. Vieš, my sme už takí tí
Adoptéry.
overené, vieš, preverené a takto. A toto proste,
Early adopters.
to sú strašne dôležité osobnosti vo svete, vieš, posúvajú.
Musia mať aj nejakých followerov, zatiaľ si nikto vozík nekúpil.
No, tak ja už tak akože latentne z vás zvažujem.
Alebo nevieš čo, do buroty. Radšej si kúpiš nožik nejaký.
Yeah, in here a fallen tree, one space, 1 meter space below it, all my friends with backpacks, they passed it immediately. With the trailer I had it on my backpack. Since it is making the backpack bigger, I could not simply climb below the tree. I had to put it down, push it below the tree, then again put it on my on my back, and then cautiously walk through the leaves because the load is when you have the trailer on your backpack, the load is bigger than with a normal backpack. So again, you have less stability, and you need to work more and pay attention to small stuff. Yeah, it keeps dancing on all those stones, and you with the backpack you wouldn't notice that there are so many stones actually, but the trailer lets you know. This is a nice easy trail, very convenient to walk with a backpack, but narrow, and Benpacker does not fit. It has both wheels out of the trail, which is not too bad. I can handle that, but it is much more work, and it is also some kind of distraction. So if you have a backpack, you walk on a trail like this, that's a meditation. With a trailer, it's work. This is a very easy trail. It's broad, there is no grass around it, there are not many stones, just here and there, and many branches go across the trail. You cannot see it from the video, the trail is not very steep. It is steeper than it appears on the video for sure, but it's not very steep. And surprisingly enough, I choose to put Benpacker on my backpack because the wheel doesn't want to go up on the hill. It wants to go down. It is pulling you down all the time. That's one thing. And second thing, the branches, if you walk, you make a step and bypass it fluently. With a trailer, it keeps dancing on every single route. So if I want to pass here the next 50 meters, the trailer would be dancing on the routes for a few hundred times, which is inconvenient. It is horrible to add a 8 kilograms 8 kilograms trailer on my backpack. It is increasing the weight a lot, but still the convenience of walking without the trailer across the routes is significant. It is a good example, and that the trailer you spend more energy, more kilojoules with the trail than without it if you go up the hill, because first the trailer is pulling you down the slope. Backpack doesn't do that at all. Your backpack just presses against your shoulders, but it is not pulling you anywhere. Second, there is also extra work when you pull the trailer up the hill. There is extra work with all those stones and roots. Again, on feet with the backpack, you would just pass it. The trailer needs to you need to pull it on top of every stone and on top of every root. It's adding extra work. Then of course the trailer has its own weight. You need to do extra work to get it up on the hill. So the list of disadvantages was quite long. Of course, there are major advantages of trailers. First of all, it reduces the pressure on your shoulders and your whole body. Imagine you have a normal backpack, then your body serves as a suspension system for the backpack. With the case of the trailer, it decreases the weight, and it helps you a lot. So your feeling, if you have a big backpack, a long trip, your feeling with the trailer is much more comfortable. You are more relaxed, and your body is not hurting. So the advantages are significant. Plus, the second thing, you have more space for large cargo. Regarding how much the trailer is helping you, how many kilograms less you have on your shoulders, there is a big difference between a single wheel trailer and double wheel trailers. In a single wheel trailer, you are saving 50% of the weight of the backpack, but also 50% of the weight of the trailer itself. so the resulting saving is not as significant. On double wheel trailers, that's much better. There is if you have clothes behind you, there is almost no weight which falls on you. That's a really surprising feeling. You wouldn't expect that. The overall conclusion, if a trailer makes sense, if it is a good thing, then I would say definitely yes. I love trailers. You shall get them. I definitely recommend it, but you need to be aware that they're not suitable for every type of hike. If you go to short trips into high altitude mountains with lots of rocks, then trailers are not suitable at all, so watch out. But on the other hand, if the trailer, the longer is the trip and the easier is the terrain, the more useful is trailer, to the extent that on some parts it's absolutely amazing. So I definitely recommend trailers. Monowalker. With Monowalker you had to rebuild the trailer. Yeah, it took a while, and then the carrying experience, the stability and load distribution were not good. My overall conclusion on the testing of the Monowalker with one wheel and Benpacker with two wheels would be that the two-wheeled option is much better, and this is not because Monowalker is not well designed. It is actually very well designed, very well made, but the problem is in the concept, that the concept of the single wheel trailer assumes that when you do a lot of optimizations on the design, you can fight against the terrain, against rocks and hills, but it's not the case. That you have to carry the trailer in difficult terrain. That's much easier to carry it than to pull it, and then it matters how easy it is to carry the trailer. And regarding carrying the trailer, Benpacker is very well designed. First of all, it has telescopic handlebars, so you just open it, it falls down, and then you make the whole trailer smaller, so you're not hitting against branches above your head. You can also easily you just press this button and you pull it down, so that again you're not catching branches. You have your proper backpack, which is ultimate for stability. The important thing is what I was worried before I bought it, that if what is the load distribution, if the trailer is not hanging low below the backpack. It's not the case. It is actually higher than the lowest part of your backpack, and a lot of its weight is above. And if you put some extra stuff like I have here, the tent and the mattress, they are actually positioned directly above your spine, and that's optimal. So the experience with carrying Benpacker on a backpack is very good. Of course, it is increasing the weight a lot, but it works well. The conclusion, surprisingly, is that the better trailer is the one which is easier to carry, to put on your backpack and carry on your backpack. Which must be confusing for you, because when you watch a video about trailers, I would assume that you hope that you will not carry your bloody backpack. but actually it depends on the trip, and on any trip you always get to some difficult parts, and then it is easier to carry the trailer on your backpack, or maybe it is not just easier, but you have to do that because you would not pass with the trailer behind you at all, and that's often the case. Actually, watch out, that's often the case. So it really matters how easy it is to put the trailer on your backpack, and how easy it is to carry the trailer on your backpack. The conclusion on the choice between a single wheel trailer, Monowalker, or double wheel trailers, Benpacker or Wheelie, is that the double wheel trailers are much better. This is the important thing is that this also applies to a difficult terrain, to difficult trips. Remember that. So it's not the case that the Monowalker is rapid, it's optimized, and it performs better. It performs worse because you need to uninstall the harness if you want to put it on a backpack. The load distribution is not good, as said before, and so on. With Benpacker, the load transfer is amazing. You feel nothing on your hip belt or in your hands, on your shoulders, whatever. You can use trekking poles, walking sticks. That's possible. It's not possible with Monowalker because it is tipping over all the time. So with double wheel trailers, you can use them. Double wheel trailers are much more agile, much more. There's a big difference, and I cannot emphasize this enough. They are shorter. Double wheel trailers are shorter. They are moving closer behind you. You don't need to drive it like a bus driver with all those big curves, preparations. It is very agile. It is easier. Even if you cross fallen trees, Monowalker is better designed for that because you can drag it and there is nothing from the bottom of the Monowalker trailer. So the design itself is good, but since the double wheel trailers are smaller and closer to you, it is actually easier to get them over the fallen trees, and less hassle in general. So you can you don't need to put them on the ground. They can stand itself, and this is not only useful in transport. This is also useful hundreds of times during a trip, that you don't need to put it on the ground. It just keeps standing. So that's very practical. So in general, double wheel trailers are unexpectedly much better than a single wheel trailer. So that's a big deal. It means that you will not want to carry the trailer for long. Definitely not. You will want to get rid of it as soon as possible, and then it's really important that it needs to be easy to put it on and put it down again. It cannot be a small project where you start disassembling some harness like you have to do on Monowalker or on Wheelie, where you need to dismantle the handlebars, change the harness, do adjustments. You cannot do that because you will carry the trailer only for a very short part, just a few hundreds of meters, and put it down, then put it up again. And remember, these are all delays which your friends with backpacks don't have. So again, you are slowing down the whole group. You are always the last one and everyone is waiting for you. So it really matters how easy, how quick this is done. And Benpacker is the best option in this regard. When I received the Benpacker trailer, I was surprised to find out that actually the bottom part is not as I thought it was. So the aluminum plate actually is not installed on the bottom of the whole trailer. It sits above the frame. That means that if you are pulling Benpacker across a fallen tree, it is not a smooth movement, because first it hits against this lock, the tree hits against that, then the tree hits against the other lock, and normally the Benpacker trailer also has brakes. You can see them here, and this is what remained here. I uninstalled already the brakes from the handlebars, and the a rope was running along the frame, and it was attached here in the center on this ring. I removed it because I don't use brakes often. On a steep downhill, a brake is a good thing, but I didn't like the design that you have ropes from bottom of the frame. When you pull the trailer across a fallen tree, it has those broken branches, and you keep hitting against them. And the same applies to this handle, that it actually you hit those fallen trees with that. And they promote this as a big advantage, that actually the load distribution with the doubled wheel trailer is so efficient that most of the weight is actually on the wheels, and there are only very few kilograms left which you actually carry, and then you don't need to have a proper harness, which I think is not a good approach, because if you pull the trailer up on a hill, well, let's put it like this: if you have a hip belt on your normal backpack, then the force of gravity is pushing from top on across your spine and whole body, and then the hip belt actually is compensating for that gravity. But on a trailer, it's a completely different story, because the load is distributed on the trailer. So what the hip belt actually does is that it is pulling the trailer forward, and it means that the force doesn't go from top to bottom, but the force goes actually directly against your belly, and it is okay on an easy trail, on an even terrain or downhill. But if you carry the trailer on a, let's say, I would pull it on up on this meadow, a full harness with parts on your shoulders would be much more convenient. The manufacturer of the single-wheeled trailer called Monowalker does sell a full harness with parts on your shoulders as well, and I would use this one instead of a normal of just the hip belt, and then I may end up with two hip belts, one on the backpack and another one on the full harness, which pulls the trailer, but it's still better than just the hip belt. That's not a good approach in my opinion. On downhill, the trailer runs ahead of you, and it is shaking if you don't hold it, so it's better to hold it. You don't have to, but it's better to do so. This is the biggest rain cover from Tatonka. I think it's around, I think it's between 80 to 100 liters. It covers well the harness, which sits on top. It's too big. On the upper side, I cannot cover the mat as well because it's too wide, and then the cover would be too short. But never mind, it's okay like this. I would expect that they should sell in millions. I think every hiker should have a trailer. They are really very helpful, a fantastic piece of equipment. Regarding the cost, it's not cheap, but I think it's worth the investment, definitely. So thanks for watching and enjoy your new trailer.